So, good evening, Dr. Ravikumar and Dr. Janardhanan. Welcome to Sci-ROI Global's podcast series 2024. And we are happy that SRM Institute of Science and Technology, you are representing that institute here. And we welcome Dr. Ravikumar, who is currently Pro VC at the SRM Institute, and wholeheartedly thank him for accepting our invitation to join us. I am Nitin Khandelwal. I am a senior postdoctoral researcher at University of Texas Southwestern Medical Center in Dallas, and also a senior volunteer of Sci-ROI Global Leadership Team. And today's podcast, we focus on discussing the vision of SRM Medical College Hospital and Research Center, along with the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences. We will learn from the leading expert, Dr. Ravikumar, at a premier institutions like SRM Institute, and gain insight about career opportunities in India and engage in meaningful discussion. I'm accompanied by another Sci-ROI volunteer, Dr. Vaishali Agrawal.
Thank you, Nitin. Hello, everyone. A very good morning. I am Vishali, a postdoctoral associate in Department of Immunology at University of Pittsburgh. As many of you already know, that Sci-ROI is a volunteer-driven non-profit organization that was founded by Professor Aseem Ansari and WinStep Forward in 2015 with a mission to create awareness and aid in smooth transition of Indian STEM diaspora back to India. Over the last few years, Sci-ROI has provided a platform for promoting multi-level collaborative initiatives between individuals and agencies in India and abroad, in facilitating the pursuit of STEM career in India through our annual events, recruitment drives, focused webinars, blogs, and newsletters highlighting the diversity of prospects back in India. So with this brief discussion, I would like to start today's podcast, and we would like to first briefly know about the vision and expansion of different centers at the SRM Institute.
I am in charge of the Medical and Health Sciences faculty of SRM, and that consists of 7 colleges and, of course, the Division of Medical Research. Colleges are medical, dental, pharmacy, and then nursing, and then physiotherapy, occupational therapy, and public health. And the Medical Research Division was sort of formally started around 2021, and we have been doing pretty well since then. And we have a mission and vision and mission. We would like to be a group which focuses on research, which is mostly translational as well as community oriented, and also relevant to our local population. And we are doing this by involving a lot of researchers from US like yourself. And we hope to achieve our goals in the long and short term very soon. We are expanding fast. And the SRM IST itself has got a lot of focus on research because we are primarily an engineering university, but then now the medical research also has sort of become quite well known to the outside world. And people like Dr. Rajiv has really taken it forward. So that's in short what's happening in the medical research division in SRM, IST medical.
Thank you, Dr. Ravikumar. So to assess the prospective applicants and how they want to aim their career at SRM Institute, we have devised a series of questions, and those are majorly categorized into 3 parts. And these correspond to the key stages of a career journey at SRM Institute. So the first part would be the applying and shortlisting. The second is how they make a decision post shortlisting. And finally, once they are on the job, that what are the considerations they should keep into account. So for the first stage of applying at the SRM Institute, we would like to know, how does the recruitment process work at SRM Institute?
It's really simple and transparent. We first we make a need assessment, we try to find out what we need in our division of medical research. Of course, with Dr. Rajiv's help, we do a need assessment and then get it approved by the appropriate authority, that number of people we want to take, with specialties, etc. And then we have to do either advertise or search for the correct person. And this is where Sci-ROI comes in. And we have been lucky to get them, and we are the gold or diamond sponsor of the Sci-ROI organization. So we get the so-called creamy layer of researchers from US and other countries. So we do the interview process where we actually interview them based on their CV and their experience, and then we do look into their research potential, not only there, and also when they come back to India, what they will be doing, and a little bit of a psychological assessment and their family background, because many of them are not from the southern India, and they come from other parts also. So we'd like to know what's bringing them back to India, and that particularly to Chennai, which is not a very it's a big town, a very big city, but then it's not their hometown, right? And so that's one thing. And also, once we do the interview process, which may be either one phase or two phases, and then we select the persons concerned, and we appoint them as assistant professors in our division of medical research. We want an assistant professor of research. It's not a regular faculty position, but then it's equivalent to that, and rather probably in terms of salary, etc., it's a little higher than the regular assistant professor also. That is the way it's done in our division of medical research.
So you mentioned about two things which are a little different than other places. Like one is when you mentioned about the family background. So can you explain what do you mean by family background? Like people who are from the South India, those are preferred, or what do you mean by that?
Not at all. Not at all. What I meant was that we'd like to know if the family is moving with the person or they're going to be living separately, and also if the family
Okay.
be suitable enough to join our organization, because we have husband, wife, and people who are both researchers. They also are there. Again, it's only to find out what will be the needs for the family, not segregate them on the basis of where they come from in India. It's not for that purpose. So we have a lot of people from the north and west and east and everywhere, and so it's only to get an idea about what their family and needs are. Nothing more than that. There is no differentiation. There is no segregation on the basis of regionalism, etc. Does it answer your
And do
question?
you help? Yes, definitely. So do you help their spouses also to get some kind of job in the institute? Maybe they are not from the science background and they are from a different background where they would need a different kind of job. So do you provide some assistance to them when they are searching for the job? The main candidate is searching and the spouse.
Well, I wish I could, but I don't think I have the capability of doing that. I don't have that much of clout in other places. If it's suiting our needs, yes, maybe we can consider it in our own sphere of medical research, and maybe in the university also we could recommend them. But then beyond that, I cannot do it. I cannot be able to. I won't be able to give them an assurance that I can get a job for them anywhere else. So then they have to find their own. Many of them are well qualified, and I think they should be able to get jobs on their own. So I don't think we are going to find jobs for them.
Okay, yeah, thanks for explaining this. So when you're searching for the applications and then shortlisting the candidates, you mentioned about that the research proposal is important, then the research experience is important. There are another component like teaching experience and teaching proposal. So do you recommend people having those experiences and they should mention in their proposal?
Well, we go through the CV of the candidate, and we are looking for people who are doing a lot of publishing. People who have been at least doing some projects, research projects, funded research projects, wherever they're working. We're looking for people who have got experience in some teaching experience. Teaching meaning doesn't mean classroom teaching. It also means that they could be a potential guide for a PhD scholar, or they could be a potential guide for somebody who's doing a post-graduation in medicine or allied subjects, whom they could be helping along as far as making their thesis ready for submission to the university. So that is the type of teaching experience we are expecting. And also, undergrad is also, we are now starting on a big program Our undergrad is also to publish and sort of get into research. In that context, I would think they also will be playing a big role in those people, like conducting some small workshops on research methodology and how to publish a paper, etc. That's the type of job you're looking at when you come to SRM, and how to get funded projects allotted. So it's a mix of everything, but mostly it is oriented toward the researcher person and publications.
So do you expect them to write a teaching proposal in their application, or that is not needed?
What proposal? Sorry?
Teaching proposal. So research proposal is there, but teaching proposal.
No. We don't expect them to write a teaching proposal. Research proposal, yes, definitely yes, definitely yes. And we'd like them to take part in teaching. And very nicely they do. Postgraduates are got in the medical school as well as in other schools in the medical and health sciences. They got to submit a thesis at the end of their program, the MDMS program. For that, they are very useful to have some guidance by these postdoc fellows. That is where they come in. And also, we have people who have got this public health, School of Public Health, do a lot of surveys and things like that. And they could be of some use in the community also. So that is the type of experience we got. But as such, teaching proposal, no.
Okay, yeah. Thanks for explaining. And what about the other achievements? Like if they have some grants or some patents, are they considered superior to others who don't have those things in their CV?
Do they have what? Sorry.
Grants or patents?
Oh, ranks.
Research grants, yes.
A research grant, yes. We encourage people to apply for these re-entry fellowships, Re-entry fellowships, Dr. Ramanujam and Dr. Ramalinga Swami re-entry fellowships when they come back to India, for which we can support them. We'll support them for that also from SRM. And we will be the host university. And that is the only thing we'd like to get them to get it so that they can get some extra money from that fellowship also. But as such, if they have any grants in them, they may not be able to bring it to this country. But I think it will be a good thing to have done something with the grant. But I don't think there's a must that they have it. It's not a must.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. And is there any specific age for the applicants? Like they should be fall into this category of age, or is it open to anyone?
At the moment, we have a lot of people who are younger and who are all under 35. So I would consider assistant professor, which is assistant professor in research division, not a faculty, but assistant research division, to be around under 35. And associate professor around under 45 and a professor below 50. So that is the type of age group which we have got we're going to follow. So far, we have got a few assistant professors and associate professors only, but most of them are below 35 only. It's not a binding that they should be over 35. It's between 35 and 45 also, so fine.
So you mentioned about assistant professor research. So how is it different than the faculty? And then what does that mean? Is it a temporary position which will be finally like making a permanent position later on, or what do you mean by this?
See, when you say research, we mean that they are primarily working in the division of medical research and doing research only. They are not given the regular teaching assignment that is being given by the regular faculty. For example, assistant professor in a field in medical college would be teaching about 2 or 3 times in a week, and then also he would be guiding postgraduate, etc. But then a person in the research division, assistant professor, would be primarily doing his work in the research lab, continuing his research work, and also taking part in publications, etc., and guiding postgraduates in the medical school or other health science colleges to write thesis, publish papers, etc. That's the difference. So they will not be having a regular teaching as that. but
Okay.
they might be even a PhD guide for a PhD scholar. That's another thing.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I asked this question because in US there is a assistant professor on research track, which is kind of a temporary position, and then there is assistant professor on tenure track, which is kind of permanent position. Not again like in US there is nothing permanent, but
We
then
have
they
a
are two
1 year
different tracks.
probation period for everybody who joins. 1 year probation period, during which time we actually ask them to perform well so that they can be after in the 1 year we give an appraisal system, and after that we could probably absorb them as a permanent faculty. At the moment, there is no binding that there is temporary. It is permanent from the time they join, but the probation period is important because that is the 1 year time we come to know whether they're going to be there or not. So that's the only thing about temporary about that part. Otherwise, it's a permanent position only.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for explaining. So Vaishali, would you like to take care of the next part?
Yes, please. Thank you so much, Nitin. So, Dr. Ravikumar, going forward,
Yeah.
so the next set of questions would emphasize on assuming a candidate has been shortlisted by SRM, and regarding the final decision, then the person is preparing to move back to SRM. So there are a couple of questions which a candidate may have, of which the very first thing is like, what would be the startup amount or the startup funding which is provided to the new recruits?
Is there a viable project, granted, funded project or something like that, or anything they're getting in SRM? Then we have a policy in which I think we support them with a startup grant, which can be up to 5 lakhs of rupees. With a startup grant for a person, but then there has to be a project. But I don't know whether that's what you want.
Yes, so usually that startup grant probably it would benefit the upcoming candidates. So is it like restricted to first year, or is it like continuously for like the first 5 years they would be supported through a startup funding, and thereafter in the meanwhile the candidates can get their own grants as well and then move from the startup funding?
We have not yet put a time period like that, but generally we would expect them to do it in the first year, so that they could have a motivation to stay on longer, and then also to see that they get more funding from other sources rather than just depend on the startup. Startup grant is only for the starting part of it, not for the entire project. So I think we should restrict to that. Maybe in a year's time or so, they should be able to generate some more funds from that main funding agency itself. So this is all I know about the recent changes in the research policy, in which we have a startup grant, 5 lakhs per startup.
Okay, great. I think that is a great amount to start the lab and then establish. And then following this, we also have a question regarding the benefits which are offered to the recruits. So it would be good to have some insights into the benefits for the candidates as well.
Well, I can only say this: you're entering an institution which is focused on research. You're entering an institution is focused on research, and medical research is the buzzword right now because a lot of people are now talking about it in the university itself. We are a multi-faculty university with about 6-7 faculties, like engineering and science. Then we have got the faculty of science and humanities, faculty of agricultural sciences, law, management, hotel management, and so forth. So in that the medical and health sciences is what we are focusing on, and in that one we would like. So you're entering a good university, research-focused university with all the facilities and a decent pay. Pay would be, I told you already, that it will be probably a little higher than what the regular faculty gets in a faculty position in the medical or dental college. That's one. Number one. Number two is that we have very good infrastructure in terms of not only buildings, but also a lot of equipment is coming in. And the equipment is not just throwaway, they are new and state-of-the-art equipment, which they would be using already in US or wherever they are, and they will continue with the same thing here also. Third, we will also give them assistance and hosting them for the fellowships like Ramalinga Swami and Ramalinga Fellowship, as I mentioned, that could be a good support for them. And of course, if they do that, they get an accelerated promotion. See, a person who gets a fellowship, he becomes an associate professor straight away. He jumps one rank higher. And it's a very good opportunity to grow along with the institution of this side, and with a lot of emphasis on research now. Not only because we are focused, but because the whole nation is now changing towards research, because that's the only way forward for higher education institutions to shine not only in India but also the world rankings. Okay.
Yes.
So
Thank you so much.
I will add one more thing, Vaishali. In addition to all these benefits, one of the benefits which all the prospective candidates look for is the health benefits, medical and insurance and all those things. So we have an excellent medical benefit, medical, dental, everything is covered, not only for the candidate, their spouse and children, but also for the parents. This is a unique thing, effective. And being an employee or family of an employee, almost every test there is a discount, which can vary depending on the nature, around the range of 50%. Discount is straight away given for anything. And inside the premises of the medical college, we also have corporate hospital. So, and with state-of-art equipment, and some of these ventures which are initiated in the corporate are expected to be supported by the people who are hired in the medical research because of their extensive training in those specific niche fields abroad. And we have excellent management like with Sir, and our Dean Medical is the ex-director of All India Institute of Medical Sciences. So one of the things is in translational sciences, which focused on research with social impact aligned with a sustainable development goals, UN Charter of Sustainable Development Goals, and also the national missions. There is National Health Mission, Swasth Bharat, Swachh Bharat, and all those things. They are basically the fulcrum of all the research. So the research not only becomes publishable, widely cited, and also is contributing to the basic data from the community level, which forms the fulcrum. So that way, the network projects are also extended. So I think by benefits, we are focusing on the residential thing. Right now, the residential quarters are kind of overflowing with requests, because usually the doctors who are having different kinds of shifts, sometimes midnight, are usually given preference, but we are trying to make allowances for the research faculty who are returning. And there are nearby societies where many of the prospective faculties, including one who joined last week, have been suitably accommodated, because many of them inhabit, so they have that cozy environment where they are meeting and living with their peers, which is not very far from their place of work as well. Sorry, sir. Go ahead.
No, that's perfectly fine. Now, just to add to what he said, that we do have a lot of residential accommodation inside the campus, but then most of it is reserved for the doctors and people who are working in the hospital, etc. We don't have separate accommodation for research faculty at all. And that is probably one thing which we can look into. But a lot of colonies around the campus are there, nearby, within 2 kilometers from the campus, and there we'll be able to assist you in finding accommodation in those areas. That's what we expect.
Yes.
Yes, sir. And I will also extend this question a bit, because it would also be good to know if like the recruits who join SRM, are they also like provided benefits while they are moving back to India?
Yes.
Or like usually during the first 10 days when they're trying to acclimatize to the new
Yeah, we
place?
support their travel and shifting of their possessions from the country to India, and that is supported for them. Supposing, say, for example, if you happen to be, say, in Delhi or something, you'll probably come back to Delhi and then from Delhi to Chennai, right? If that happens, we support you right through. Whether it's from wherever you are in your country, you come to Delhi, yes, and then from there to Chennai, yes, we support that.
Okay, great. I think there are a good line of benefits when a candidate joins SRM, and that is really good. I think mainly it comes down to the health benefits when person talks about the family perspective. So moving on to the next question, we would also like to have some insight, like what is the expected teaching load with a new recruit joining SRM?
The teaching load is primarily, as I told you earlier also, it's mainly if you are qualified enough to take a PhD scholar, yes, you will be guiding a PhD scholar, and then you will be helping postgraduates in other colleges. You will be doing the thesis, and then taking the help from the person in the medical research division to guide them along that one. And then, of course, we would also like to take part in the undergraduate research, which is yet to begin. We're just starting now. So when it happens, small projects come. That is the type of teaching load we're talking. Not teaching regular subjects in, say, anatomy, physiology, etc. It's not that. It's not that. And also, you could also give some sort of teaching in the sense you could be a resource person in a workshop, like in a research methodology workshop, or in a workshop for writing a paper, workshop to say advise the student how to go about making a project proposal, etc. That sort of teaching be there. And of course, you you'd still be called an assistant professor in research, not the assistant professor in the regular medical college, right? Thank you.
So to add to what Sir said, what I would like to emphasize is the Division of Medical Research at SRM, Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences, is the nodal unit which coordinates the research for all the medical schools. That is, Medical College being the largest. We are number 20 in India for last 3 years. The Dental College is 6, Pharmacy is 15, and the other colleges are also eminent in their own ways. Some of the colleges like nursing, physiotherapy, occupational therapy have centers of excellence which are service providers. Like, for example, there is an autism center for excellence, which is providing free of cost service to the small children. This is our Chancellor Sir's initiative. Similarly, we have a partnership with Motivation India to develop new ergonomic chairs for the differently abled population. So, each in nursing, we have, because most of the nurses are excellent phlebotomists. So, they can assist in projects which are like, we have one of the 4 centers of, phase 1 clinical trials recognized by ICMR, and the only private institute in country. The other 3 are ACTREC Mumbai, KEM College Mumbai, and PGIMR Chandigarh, and SRM in South. We were the only center in Tamil Nadu which was a part of phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 clinical trials of Covaxin with Bharat Biotech. So there are several stellar such achievements, and recently we have got the Bionist grant, which means if the prospective candidates have entrepreneurial skills, they can do under Section 8 startup companies. And that facility will also be provided under the research ecosystem. So the other thing which I would like to supplement is currently we are not having a PhD course, but next year we are planning to launch a MS PhD integrated course in biomedical sciences. So just like your ICER and other these things, then probably the teaching load will come, and we will design. Our goal is to mostly design the master's course by research, with a few credits thrown into basically like research methodology, quantitative analytics, which are all a part of the PhD, any PhD coursework, so that with minimum things, they are basically focused on, let's say, 3 to 3.5 years of active research. Just like it is done in many of the premier institutes like IITs or ICERs or any other eminent institute. So this is the project in annual. Currently, they are hired primarily for research purposes. That's what Sir has been telling, but they will have a lot of load because one of the mandates of the management is to significantly augment the research output at undergraduate, that is MBBS. We have almost 1,200 students. Every year, the intake is 250 students. And we encourage from second year onwards till the final year, which is fifth year, them to write the STS, ICMR, MOHFW, that is Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, STS grants. So in addition to that, those who are supposed not succeeding there, we also support them. About 90 fellowships are being given in 2 cycles every year, which is, we are the pioneering institute to do so, both for UG and PG. And there are like the startup grant for 5 lakhs. It's not, the benefits are not just limited. If your project is really ambitious, translational, and adding value, special approvals can be taken to help the project before the candidate successfully gets funding. In addition to that, both the medical school, Division of Medical Research, we are in the process of acquiring a confocal microscope, what is it called, fax machine. We are also getting high-speed cold room and also protein purification units. And we are also hoping to upgrade our animal research facilities and establish a zebrafish unit. So, and we have collaborations with different countries. Say, for example, for Parkinson's disease, we are collaborating with King's College London. We have an active collaboration with Mayo Clinic for community-based programs, because at 17 or 18 years, when the students at undergraduate level usually enter the medical school, instead of focusing on individual, sometimes group projects, which are focused on community welfare, are more easy to capture their interest. And as a part of the National Medical Commission's initiative, every student has to actively participate during their tenure at UG and PG level in the family adoption program. That means throughout the 5 years, at least 5 families, they are supposed to, in the community, they are supposed to take care of their welfare and means. So then what happens is, when they go to a certain specific areas, and every year more villages are being added in the Chengalpattu Kanjipuram district, and we serve the needs of more than 3 lakh people. This is in the suburban parts of Chennai. So the thing is, India has such a healthcare ecosystem that every 50 kilometers, there is a subtle change in the socio-cultural norms and habits and lifestyle choices. And that actually forms the essence of the health-seeking behavior. And we also have specialized classes for UG students, PG students, staff, and faculty, to actually inculcate them with systematic reviews, and eventually leading to Cochrane reviews as well. So we are negotiating with them. We also have strategic partnerships with Springer Nature. We also are looking at partnership with Elsevier. And what we are essentially trying to create is a platform for researchers, that if their research output, potential, and value is outstanding, then sky is not the limit for them. But it has to be broken down in such a way that everyone inside, including Pro-VC sir, myself, and also our president sir, who's very proactive about the research output, are comfortable with that, and they understand. Like, say, for example, we have recently had a research faculty from EPFL Switzerland, and we have a standing collaboration with Parkinson's Research Alliance of India. So straight away, he became the coordinator to look for early diagnostic markers of Parkinson's disease. It's an active project. Similarly, King's College London has hospitals. Now, one of the things which we are realizing, and the Vax tragedies and other the golden bullet failures have made us realize is, we need to understand the cultural as well as genetic diversity. Like in India, there are 5 epidemiological centers of origin with very clear, distinct norms, genetic-based, socio-cultural beliefs, structures, as well as lifestyle practices. So if we assume that one drug will do the thing, like for the mainland four things, we have a Meso-Mongolese genetics, which is prevalent in the 7 northeastern states, which has totally a different genetics. So these things are being considered first to get projects which are community oriented, serving needs, and when they meet the needs and rise above, then we go for network projects with our collaborators at All India Institute of Medical Sciences and other eminent and private. What we are trying to tell you is that the researchers, if they excel in the research ecosystem, will be enabled and ennobled by the SRM management to see that their efforts are catering to the nation's goal at both community level and also at translational level. And if they want to be entrepreneurial level, we have a platform like BioNest, which is getting established as we talk, to also promote that. So this kind of a research, and if you Google and check, SRM DBT platform is a 9-storied building which has state-of-art facilities from TEM, SEM, everything, NMRs, IRs, CEDA, circular diachroism units. So people from different walks of the, because science has become interdisciplinary in nature, can easily access those which are actually for use for the entire country. That was a part of SRM and DBT platform. And this was established more than 10 years ago, before we talked about Institute of Eminence and all those things. So we are creating a complementary facility so that the whole SRM ecosystem, what the needs of the project they are doing, they should be easily able to get it. I'm just supplementing what Sir has been telling and just reinforcing that we are very serious about what our needs are. And when we hire the people, we are looking at long-term growth rather than short-term tenures or whatever it is, because that's the reason we take 2 or 3 rounds of interviews, so that we are absolutely sure this person will transition and provide SRM the extra flavor in those cutting edge areas to create new paradigms. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Janardhanan. And thank you, Dr. Ravikumar. I think it is a very good initiatives and very phenomenal initiatives at SRM, which are ongoing to support the research ecosystem. So moving on, I have this question regarding the primary expectations which institute like SRM has from the new recruits. So the question is, what are the institute's primary expectations from the new recruits joining SRM?
The primary requirement is, of course, to be a good researcher. He has to be a good researcher. So that means that we have to have enough of research experience to either publish and then also carry out projects, also carry out some good translational research. We don't believe in this basic research because India, I think, doesn't have the time for all that. We have to move on. So I think translation research is what we're looking at. And for that, we are one of those gifted universities which has the hospital attached to the medical college. So we have a good patient load and a lot of clinical material available to you, and that can be used for the translational research also. As in the case of medical college, we also have other colleges which are also dependent on the hospital. For example, the physiotherapy has got a big department in the hospital also. Occupational therapy has got the autism center and other things. So like that, we have a lot of interplay between the hospital and medical college. And medical college is something which is supposed to nurture not only students but also researchers. And researchers are the main thing. And then we have the researchers who are expected to do some teaching, as I already told you, in the form of either guiding or helping out postgraduates and undergraduates to carry out projects or publish papers. Right. Now, the third expectation would be on getting grants and getting some patents if they can. That will be the expectation we would like to have, because we would like you to be a good, researcher who can get some money for doing some nice grants, actually, getting grants, and then also patenting. These are in short, the main expectations of the university from the researcher. The teaching load will be almost, as I told you, the UGPG as well as the workshops. That's the teaching load we have. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I will now hand it over to Nitin to take the next questions forward. Thank you.
Thank you, actually. Thank you, Dr. Ravikumar as well. So then, like, we have come to a point where the candidate has been shortlisted, and then they have to decide whether they should join SRM or not. And then definitely, I thank to both.
Can you be
Dr. Ravikumar and
louder,
Dr.
please? I'm
Janardhanan.
not able to hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So I'm saying, like, thank you so much for giving all the information about when a candidate is making a final decision to join SRM. But there are few more things which a candidate should know before they make a final decision, because they typically have some queries which are actually after joining. Like, those queries will arise after they join to the institute, but they are definitely pertinent to make a final decision. And these include a few questions. Like, one question is that whether you promote the independent collaboration as an assistant professor, how much they can collaborate within the institute and then also from other institutes, both nationally and internationally.
Well, we have we do promote a lot of collaborative research, because as I already told you, the university is a multidisciplinary university, multi-faculty university. So there is a lot of scope to collaborate with engineering, law, and management, all the other faculties also. Plus, we have no restrictions on you collaborating with your original researcher whom you are already having links with. And when it comes to institutional collaboration, then we would like to take it through MOU, as it happened in the case of King's College London, or so many agencies have done MOU with our institution, and they would like to, and we'd like to be through that, make a collaborative research. And I mean, to be honest with you, the sky is the limit. We want to come and do research, we can actually guide you along quite a lot.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's really encouraging. I just wanted to know, you mentioned about this DBT facility. So is it available to all the researchers?
Yes, it is available to the nation.
Okay, got it.
So you check SRM DBT platform. It will have rates for internal researchers, and also it will also have the rates for use by any person across the Indian subcontinent and beyond.
Okay, got it. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, that answers to my questions. So there's another question which we usually have a person has in mind, that once they are joining, that how is their evaluation done for promotions, how their performance is being evaluated, what is the review process, and if there's, in case, like, if they are not successful in their projects or whatever they have proposed in a certain amount of time, what is the implication of that kind of situation?
Well, first of all, we are picking up the people very carefully. Selection is very important, and we take them only on the major merit. So I think failing should not be an important question at all. That's one. And secondly, we are also taking them through a 1-year probationary period, during which time they are being observed and they are being engaged. Now, we have an appraisal system in the institution. We have an appraisal process. At the end of 1 year, we do a self-appraisal, and then the reviewer, there is a boss. For example, Dr. Rajiv will be the dean of research. So you do a review, and he'll do a lot. And based on that, they can either, most of them don't go off, but then they'll be rated for the getting some extra increments, etc., like that. And that is the one thing. Second is your question regarding how would they be assessed? It's a continuous assessment. It's not only just a one-time assessment. It's a continuous assessment right through how they are progressing in their field of research and guidance, teaching, etc. So it's not a one-time assessment. continue, but at the time of, end of 1 year only it happens, eventually, during which time they're assessed for their performance in terms of how many publications, how many projects, how many grants, how many patents, etc. they've got by themselves, and also how they assisted other students in their thesis, etc. So that is how we assess them. And this system is now in vogue in our institution in the medical health sciences, right? So, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, that answers my question. Thank you so much. So when you I have this basic thing, you have these three ranks, maybe assistant professor, associate professor, and then full professor. So what is the actual, but how do you promote from assistant to associate? Is it a certain number of years you complete as an assistant professor before you are promoted to associate? Or again, it's based on the review process?
I think in the beginning I told you that people who get the fellowship, they automatically become associate professors. They get a jump. Others have to wait at least. I think generally they are following the same rules as we follow in the health science colleges, minimum of 5 years of service in a assistant professor, and then we would consider them for a associate. But it's not a time scale promotion like that. But it could be a on merit basis. We will be having a selection committee which will select them a promotion, and then we will be allowing them to be promoted if they fit in the criteria. So there is a promotion committee in the institution which goes into these things. And luckily, I am not one of those who chair that. There is a promotion committee.
Yeah, thank you. And then there is another question about the leave process. So how many, for example, how many leaves are generally allocated to a new candidate or to the assistant professor who is working in a SRM? And also, in case of a maternity situation, so how many maternity leaves, or is there any benefits to provided to both the male and female candidates? Definitely female candidates would require, but on top of that, there is a condition to some leaves for the male candidate as well.
We're talking about paid leave. We have casual leave. The rate of one day per month, so 12 days in a year. Earned leave again, 12 days in a year. 30. And mind you, this is all not in the first year. This is not in the first year, meaning not in the year of probation. After that, it starts. Okay. And then after 1 year, they can have academic leave, that is what we call as on duty and all that. Also, attend conferences, present papers, academic leave of 10 days per year, medical leave 9 days. But you asked about the people who are either ladies or so. I think they have something called pregnancy and maternity leave that can be applied to our people also. That's I think, but that's without pay, about 6 months of maternity leave is given. And paternity leave of 1 month is also given to the prospective father. These are all the common rules of the university, so we follow the same. But to answer your question, everything starts after 1 year. Immediately, we don't give any leave, but except in emergency situations, we can consider giving leave. But generally, 12 days, 1 month a year, 1 day per month. Sorry, 1 day per month. Similarly, and leave also 1 day per month is what is considered 1 year after the join.
And then there is another thing which is about sabbatical time. So do you promote, is there any opportunity to go for sabbatical after completing a certain period of service at SRM?
So far it has not happened. We're not having any sabbatical for the research faculty yet. But it will probably later on come in. But I think that what I have in mind is different. Brainstorm is Dr. Rajiv. Probably it will be at least 5 to 6 years of service before we consider sabbatical, not earlier than that. But generally, as a general rule, we are not encouraging. Already they have finished their PhD, postdoc, etc. So what do they go for? Sabbatical. Probably some specialized training for a few months, yes. But a year, 2 years sabbatical leave, I don't think is in the pipeline yet. For the medical research faculty, yes.
Yeah, thank you so much for answering. And before we conclude, we have just a basic question about the salary structure. So, as a newcomer or new recruit, would you like to give just a range, like whether it is in par with the government institute, the salary for the assistant professors, or is it different, or is it negotiable? Is there a range, or what is the process, or how much is that?
No, no. Actually, we are giving a higher salary scale than the regular assistant professor, regular associate professor in the research division. We are giving a higher salary scale. I think I can be corrected if I'm wrong, but it is definitely almost about 30-40% higher than the regular faculty, either assistant professor and associate professor. So far, we have not had any professors, so I don't know, except Dr. Rajiv is the only professor there. So it's definitely higher. And as you know, between government institutions and private institutions, there is always a difference. Government institution meaning which government institution? It could be supposing you're an ICMR, you're in Ordinary Institute of Medical Sciences and all. The pay scales are totally different. They're much higher than the private side. Among the private institutions, we are giving them much higher than the rest of among the private institutions. You only compare that way. You cannot compare government and private. Government institutions, depending on their eminence, they can be paid at different levels. Or their aims, they're completely different.
Okay. Yeah, I think with this we come to an end of this session. If you have anything like any tips or any final things for the candidates, for the new
Yeah.
candidates, what they should
I just want
consider.
to say a few words about what I would advise a prospective candidate who is appearing to Sci-ROI. Come with an open mind to focus on research. Come here with an open mind. We will take it forward. We'll take it forward and we will be able to infuse you with enough of facilities and as well as opportunities for you to develop. Secondly, come with a focus to be a part of the research team and a good team member, not an individual researcher who is sitting in an isolated place and doing research. And the third is, of course, you have to take a share of teaching and administrative duties when you come as part of a team. It's not that you just do research and walk off. That's not going to happen. So you have to be a little more responsible in terms of taking on an extra load of teaching and administration. Administration doesn't mean sitting and signing papers. It could mean a lot of things, like keeping the lab clean and getting things done, getting work orders when they're pending and sorted out and getting things repaired and things like that. It could be that. It could be also liaising with other institutions, liaising with your fellow researchers and other institutions, and then also getting collaboration, all those things. The administration is all that kind of things. Of course, helping the dean get along with this routine, regular work. So come with an open mind, focus on research, and come with your mind to be a part of the team which is actually taking SRM ISD forward in every respect. And we will be happy to support you and carry you along and also provide you the facilities which are required to fulfill your dreams of research, which many institutions cannot offer in India. Many institutions are trying hard to emulate our example, but it's quite difficult because the huge amount of financial investment is involved in this. And now it's nice, all new equipment coming in, but to maintain them and make them productive and make them actually turn out into good research assets. It's going to be a tough challenge for us also, but you'll be part of the journey, part of the team, part of the group which is leading SRM IST forward, taking it to a newer height, not only inside India, but also at the world level. That's my advice to people who are aspiring to come in the research division of SRM Medical Research. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ravikumar and Dr. Janardhanan, for this wonderful discussion and also letting us know about several initiatives what SRM is doing, and not only just for research, but for public health and community services. So those are all really wonderful. I think all of these information would be important for the candidates while making their choice. And we hope that SRM gets really top-class researchers in the future.
Thank you so
Thank you
Thank you
very
so
much,
much.
Nitin. Thank you, Vaishali.
Thank you,
Talking
Dr.
to you,
Ravikumar.
and
Thank
I
you.
hope we are able to answer most of your questions. And if there are any more, you can always email us and we'll reply to you. Okay?
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you. Bye.
Have a great evening.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.